Is MSNBC just like doing whatever it takes to get Kamala elected?
Yes. It hammers home the point that I'm making, that this news network is indistinguishable from the party.
Are they just the Democratic Party's mouthpiece?
Exactly.
MSNBC is the Democratic Party's mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to A Conservative Confucius here. Yeah, sorry, I was going to put this out yesterday. I just had some issues and the recording thing didn't hit properly, and I just got cut up, and I was like, you know what, let's do this tomorrow. So I'm putting this out for you guys. This is the Shabbat podcast. Normally we do it on Friday, like I said, but we're putting it out today on Shabbat. I'm actually breaking Shabbat to do this. So let's get down to it and do it, guys. We opened up with that video exposing some of the media. We're going to be covering that media in cahoots with Kamala. We're going to be covering some of the hurricane news, and we will also be covering, like we always do on the Shabbat podcast, at least while it's going on, the Israeli-Palestine conflict. Sorry, I'm in not the best of moods, guys. My dog, my little puppies, just had a seizure. He's been around for a while, and so do my best here and pray for him. If you guys give him a prayer, that'd be great. So let's get down to it and do it. Don't forget to go down there, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and do not forget to share this video if you guys like it. And don't forget to leave a comment. Go check out my Discord server at Conservative Confucius's server, and don't forget to go check out my merch store at like I said, guys, sorry, I'm out of it. www.streamlabs.com, Conservative Confucius/merch. Alrighty. Let's get down to it and do it, guys. Let's show you a little bit of the merch I got going. So we have the American Horror Story, Kamala Harris. We got the Tread Carefully, American flag, and Don't Tread on Me. We got the Election Wars, Trump 2024, Stormtrooper, USA Stormtrooper helmet. We got the Voting for the Felon shirt. We got the They Were All Felon shirt, the Come and Take It. Like I said, all these come in different colors. This is some of my merch right here. We got my hat with my logo on it. It's got the name on the side, American flag on the other side, and it's got a little hashtag MAGA gang on the back. We also have my FEMA t-shirt. By the way, this flag has now been changed to a white flag with black and white or with white outlining, so you can see it on a white shirt or a black shirt, no matter what. As you can see, let's see. Okay. So all of these that have, any of them that have a black flag will have white outlining now. You can see white flag. This one has the Israeli flag on it with the white outlining, regular American flag with the white outline or black outlining, white flag with the black outlining, white flag with the black outlining. So all of these will be that. And if you see one that doesn't, I will fix it before I upload this video. I think this one is actually the one that I haven't fixed yet. It's the only one, I think. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll fix that. So that one has a white flag with black outlining. But yeah. Alrighty, guys, let's get down to it and do it. Go check out this, streamlabs.com/Conservative Confucius/merch. We have great prices. We got great quality stuff. This is good. And it comes a little bit large just so it'll, because it's cotton, it will shrink a tiny bit. That's why all of them come a teeny bit big. This one hasn't been washed yet. So when it does, it'll fit a little bit better. This is the double XL. So when it shrinks, it'll probably go about still a little bit shorter, but not much. And that's the way, it's good quality stuff, very nice quality shirts, very nice, not itchy, not scratchy. And I also have premium shirts on here too that are made with thicker material that are a tiny bit more expensive, yes, but they are those kind of heavy duty kind of Carhartt material shirts. Alrighty, so let's get down to it and do it. We're going to be starting off with this one that we started off with.
So do you feel like MSNBC is doing enough to help the Harris campaign?
I mean, they're doing all they can.
Meet Basil Hamden, a writer and producer for MSNBC's weekend show, Iman. Basil.
By the way, also, I'm wearing my my sweatpants. So, I don't know if you guys can see. But yeah, these are real nice and comfy. They got the name down the side. On the other side, they say hashtag MAGA gang. So you can check those out. They're nice. They're very comfy. They fit very well. So they're not going to be too baggy or too tight. They fit just right. Alrighty, guys. So let's get back to this. Sorry.
Also reveals that, quote, what her message of the day is is their MSNBC's message of the day.
What have they done to help the Harris campaign?
Amplify her message. What her message of the day is their message of the day.
Hamden revealed that MSNBC is the Democratic Party's mouthpiece and is doing anything to get Kamala elected. Hamden says this news network is indistinguishable from the Democratic Party.
So is MSNBC just like doing whatever it takes to get Kamala elected?
Yes. It hammers home the point that I'm making, that this news network is indistinguishable from the party.
Are they just the Democratic Party's mouthpiece?
Exactly.
MSNBC is the Democratic Party's mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Basil calls MSNBC.
How do you not notice that this guy or this woman is obviously like, I don't know, let's say a spy, but like, undercover journalist. Like she's obviously new at this. This is probably her first time giving information to O'Keefe. And I mean, literally, you repeat the question because you didn't get a yes or no answer, or a for sure confirming answer. So, like, it's unbelievable that just because they didn't get an affirmative answer in the way that she wanted, she just goes, "Oh, so you are the Democratic?" After saying it, he said, "Yeah, like, so you need him to say 100%, like, yes, that, yeah, we are." And was not enough, which is crazy. If someone did that to me and I was like, if I was in his shoes, I'd be like, why do you want me to repeat the question? Like, yeah, I said, yeah, already. Like, why? And the fact that he's so, like, she must be extremely attractive, because there's no way I would fall for that. Like, and I mean, this guy must be just dumbfounded by her beauty or something.
Viewers brainwashed, and states that MSNBC made their viewers dumber over the
Let's skip into the actual, skip into the actual video, because a lot of this is just him repeating things he's going to say later.
Now, I think she keeps getting better.
Kamala Harris is telling the truth. The hate campaign against Kamala Harris has begun. They purposefully pronounce her name wrong.
But as a black woman, the product of a mixed marriage, she's an inspiration.
I don't know, Nicole, vote for her or don't vote for her, but isn't it great to just have a positive conversation right now?
Last week, we saw Vice President Kamala Harris's first mainstream media solo interview of her presidential run with MSNBC's Stephanie Ruhle. Many people were stating how much of a softball interview it was. Here's a clip from that.
I just want to ask you yes or no. At any point in your life.
It's obvious that MSNBC is the Democratic Party's mouthpiece. I mean, it's always been obvious. Sorry, I'm quitting smoking, so I'm a little bit icky on all this stuff. It's getting all out of my lungs. But yes, so it's obvious that they're the mouthpiece of the Democratic Party, mainly because if you just look where like people in that administration or in the Democratic Party go after they leave, their jobs. Like, look at Jen Psaki. She is now working for MSNBC. She's now one of the main people on MSNBC. Look at Karine Jean-Pierre. What was she before she was working in the Biden administration? She was from MSNBC. And that's because the Democratic Party, and specifically the Biden administration, when they want someone to speak, they take it from the MSNBC pool of people, because they know they'll just parrot whatever they're told to. They have no credibility, no ethics, no nothing, none of that.
Have you served 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun?
She was already, at this exact time, she was already outed as lying about working at McDonald's. McDonald's came out and openly said she has never worked for our company ever. And yet, for some reason, they're still pushing it on MSNBC like it's a truthful thing that she said, but it's complete lies. It's not the truth. It's not fact. It's lies, and they're still pushing it. And that's like, they're pushing, just the stupidest of lies too. Not like anything serious. Like, they're not calling her out for any of the things she said about the civil rights movement or any of that crap, or anything she's ever said. That's all full of crap. But they put focus on this because it's just, it's just powder puff bull crap, just, fluff, media fluff. And instead of actually saying, moving on to something else that maybe is true that you could use as fluff, they're continuing to use the lies because it's a lie that they believe makes, or even they're refusing to accept it as a lie. And they think that somehow enough people believe it still, that it's good media fluff.
Working at a McDonald's, yes or no? That's it.
I have.
Okay.
With that,
You
OMG
haven't.
decided to look into MSNBC and their cozy relationship with the vice president. Meet Basil Hamden, a writer and producer for MSNBC's weekend show, Iman. Hamden's background includes working at the Huffington Post as a news director and being the executive producer for Michael Moore. Basil met our OMG American Swiper.
By the way, Michael Moore has recently come out. He did this stage show where he was like sitting at a desk, like an office desk, and was just sitting there talking to the people in the audience. And he openly said, "We all, as a country, owe Trump an apology," and saying about how wrong we were about Trump and how right everyone on the right was about him, and that they needed him, and he was fighting back against the system, and he really was being persecuted. And I was like shocked. So obviously Michael Moore is on a different path now. A lot of people haven't seen that video. I encourage you guys to go look it up. I'm guessing if you just type in Michael Moore stage show Trump, it'll probably come up.
On the dating app Bumble, and divulged about his job to our undercover journalist.
Remind me where you work.
Right now, I'm working at MSNBC,
What do you do? What's your title?
writer, producer. So
He seems extremely gay. I don't understand how this is, if he's not, like, he's just very beta.
live news show on the weekends.
Okay, what is it called?
Amen. Yeah,
I've heard of that.
Basil Hamden, producer at MSNBC, states that MSNBC is helping the Kamala Harris campaign, stating they are, quote, amplifying her message. Basil also reveals that, quote, what her message of the day is their MSNBC's message of the day.
So do you feel like MSNBC is doing enough to help the Harris campaign?
I mean, they're doing all they can to
Which is what? What have they done to help the Harris campaign?
amplify her message. What her message of the day is their message of the day.
Does anyone really trust the healthcare system? Well, thankfully, there still are some good guys left in healthcare, like our great friends at The Wellness Company. The Wellness Company has been with OMG since day one, and now they're proud to introduce the ultimate first aid emergency kit, meticulously created to ensure your access to life's American Swiper question-based peace, and is doing anything to get Kamala elected. Hamden says this news network is indistinguishable from the Democratic Party.
What you were saying earlier, that the MSNBC aligns too closely with the Democratic Party line.
Yeah, so they're often saying the same exact things. The type of people who work in Democratic politics and in the campaign are a lot of the same type of people that would appear on air on MSNBC. It hammers home the point that I'm making, that this news network is indistinguishable from the party.
Are they just the Democratic Party's mouthpiece?
Exactly.
MSNBC is the Democratic Party's mouthpiece.
Yes. Yes.
So is MSNBC just like doing whatever it takes to get Kamala elected?
Yes. Yes.
Even if there are like clear contradictions that would potentially alienate some of the viewers?
Yes, but unfortunately,
That's bad journalism, right?
it is, but unfortunately, they've made their viewers dumber over the years. Fortunately, they're not brainwashing people with racist propaganda like Fox, but
Are you kidding me?
particularly,
They are brainwashing them with racist propaganda, like Fox. Not Fox doesn't actually do that, but what they are brainwashing them with is racist propaganda from the left. It's hate white people are the biggest danger. If you don't do this, you're racist. If you don't vote this way, you're racist. If you point out the fact that this happens, you're racist. If you don't ignore that this happened, you're racist. It's ridiculous. Like, you can't point out the fact that there has been a massive spike in black young men attacking, whether it's other young people that are not black, whether they're Asian, white, Jewish, whatever. And there's a spike in all of these attacks on those peoples by black young men. You're racist, even though that it's happening. I've posted videos about it. It is insane. The level that it's happening on is absurd. You see these videos on Twitter all the time, and yet no one cares. If some of the things that were happening to these children, these old people are being attacked. There was 3 old men that were viciously beaten to a pulp, all 3 of them in their 70s and 80s, because they didn't want to give their car keys to a bunch of young black thugs between the ages of 15 and 20, who were, about between the ages of 15 and 17, and there was about 15 to 20 of them, and they were beaten to a pulp. And if this had happened to 3 black men by a gang of white men, or gang of white teens trying to steal a car, this would be #1 news story in the world for the next 4 weeks. There would be riots in other parts of the world, in Australia, in the UK, and here. Yet now that, when this happens to non-black people by black people, no one says a word, and no one talks about the fact that this racism is going to continue on until we start viewing people as people and not as skin colors. It's going to continue, especially when you're demonizing one skin color over the other and telling people that they need to see race in everything they do.
Post-Trump, from Trump on, they've really narrowed their audience's mind to the point where even when guests go on their show to criticize Democrats, people get mad at the guests.
It begs the question, why isn't MSNBC's motto, "The network indistinguishable from the Democratic Party"?
Or just call them MSDNC, because that's what they are. They are the mainstream for the Democratic National Convention.
Hamden, MSNBC is nothing more than a network that is solely based on helping the Democratic candidate, Kamala Harris.
Or you could just call them mainstream Democratic network company. MSDNC. Oops, my bad.
Just this week, MSNBC panelist Eddie Glaude stated Kamala Harris has to win. And if she doesn't, our young children in America will have the threat of being bombed at school because of Donald Trump.
We got to come out and try to figure out how to turn out in large historic numbers, because we got to keep this troglodyte out of office.
If someone on the right called Kamala Harris or Barack Obama basically it means cave dweller. Troglodyte means cave dweller, person who's pale, lives in a dark, place. It originally kind of meant cave dweller. Now it means people who kind of just don't go outside often. So he's calling him a pale, and often people will call people who are stupid and white, or like stupid and dumb and don't leave their house or their own area a lot, troglodytes. So they're calling Trump a stupid, pale, white, man, basically. So imagine if someone called Barack Obama or Kamala Harris let's just think of a word, I don't know, something extremely racist, whether it's an animal, whether it's a, primate or something like that. You could come up with all kinds of terms. That's basically the equivalent of what they're calling him. You could call him a caveman, like, a black caveman. Would that be appropriate? Would it be okay to call Barack Obama a black caveman, or, Kamala Harris a cave woman, or whatever other terms you can think of? No, people would be like, no, that is racist. And they'd be like, okay, yeah, you're kind of right. But why is it okay to do it to Trump and not okay to do it to anyone else? It doesn't make any sense.
Because if he comes in, our babies are going to be in danger. Because remember, those young children are going to grow up with the memory of having to not go to school for the threat of bombs.
That makes absolutely no sense. And the fact that no one is calling it out is so absurd and so dangerous. This is the kind of rhetoric that gets Trump almost assassinated multiple times. This is the kind of rhetoric that is what causing so many people to just lose their mind and not use their common sense, not use their critical thinking skills. Until this type of thinking is eliminated, we will continue to see attacks against our politicians, attacks against conservatives, and it won't stop until someone finally says, you know what, enough is enough. We can't keep doing this, and just tells people, if you continue to do this, like this, in my eyes, they always say, oh, hate speech this, hate speech that, calls to violence. Yet they ignore calls to intifada, calls to kill Jews, calls to kill conservatives, calls to kill Trump. They never, ever talk about that. Yet they'll talk about it when it doesn't have anything to do with it, or it's not even an actual call to violence. It's not actually racist. It's not a hate crime. They'll call out all the things that aren't those things. But then when it actually is happening, they ignore it because it comes from their side. And until we call them out, until someone says, next time you say, there's going to be bombs going off in our own country because of this man, that is technically a call to action. You are telling people that this man is so dangerous that he'll kill our country, kill people in our country. And that is a threat to democracy, which means in their eyes, they're fighting with their own they're going along with the Constitution, fighting back against what they believe is tyranny. And that is dangerous.
She needs to bust him in his mouth. I'm saying
Again,
it like that because
that's a literal call to violence.
he's dangerous.
You are dangerous.
He's dangerous to particular people.
You are
These
dangerous
very
to all
particular
people.
that are at MSNBC. Basil Hamden,
You are dangerous to all people, buddy.
producer at MSNBC, dives even further into how MSNBC hosts and guests are so in sync they will finish each other's sentences.
Do you feel like MSNBC doesn't necessarily tell the truth?
God, no.
I think they do from their perspective. Yeah, they do.
But from like an objective standpoint?
It's very partisan Democrat. Their problem, and I think they would have a bigger audience.
You can't be extremely partisan Democrat and tell the truth all the time. You can't lay down the facts and tell the truth while being extremely partisan. You can be somewhat partisan and tell the truth. Like Fox, they put their own spin, not spin. They tell it from their point of view, not the truth. They just tell their opinions. They'll say, oh, okay, I believe this, or I believe this, or I feel this way. But then when it comes down to the facts, they'll be like, and this is the facts, but I feel that way about the facts. I feel this way about the facts. They will just, MSNBC and CNN and ABC, they'll just straight up lie. They'll say, these are the facts, and they'll tell them from their own perspective, the facts from their perspective. But they're not the facts from their perspective. They are their opinion, and they believe how that, it's their feelings and their opinions, not actually anything to do with the facts. And then when called out on it, they'll just either pivot away from it, not answer it, or they'll make up some other excuse on why their opinion is valid and how you can't invalidate what they're saying because of whatever reasons, whether it's race, sex, gender, whatever.
If they were less tied to the Democratic Party itself, they should be progressive. They should tell the truth.
They should be middle of the road or liberal.
Perspective.
Either one is
But
fine.
they shouldn't be tied to a political party.
How are they?
I don't consider Fox to be conservative. I don't consider Newsmax to be conservative. I would say that they both have very similar opinions on almost everything. They question Trump, they criticize Trump, they question, the liberals, and that's because they'll say more about leftists right now because leftism and leftists have gone insane. Even Chris Cuomo agrees for the most part about everything that's happening on the left. Yes, he has some differing opinions on Trump, but that's media. They're not being, they're not afraid to say, okay, well, I don't feel this way about this like you do. And the other hosts will be like, well, I completely disagree. That's media. It's not, we're gone from the days where it's just the facts. And I'm okay with that as long as people are honest about what they're portraying and what they're pushing, what narrative and agenda they're going for. And the fact is ABC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, they all lie and say that they're not biased, that they're not, partisan, and that they're just there to give you the facts, which is complete and utter bullshit. Fox, Newsmax, OAN News, let OAN News a little bit less. They're more right wing. But there's another one that's like not Newsmax, but it's something else like News something, similar logo. But yeah, all those ones, those three, Fox, Newsmax, and the other one that's like News whatever, they all are relatively nonpartisan when it comes to most issues. And then some of their hosts, I will say, are partisan, but they have multiple people on that disagree. And when it comes to like other channels, CNN has one Republican, and that's it, Scott Jennings. MSNBC has never had a Republican on their channel consistently. And Scott is only on a few times a week on CNN.
Currently tied to the Democratic Party?
They just are way too cozy with Democratic politicians.
How? I can't tell.
If you watch an interview with a Democratic politician, they just finish each other's sentences. The anchor and the politician are just in total agreement about everything.
While investigating subjects, our OMG journalists always find that the subjects we investigate like to criticize or demean the very people they work for or entertain. Basil Hamden is no exception. Basil calls MSNBC viewers brainwashed and states that MSNBC made their viewers dumber over the years. Doesn't sound like they believe in their product.
They've made their viewers dumber over the years.
Meaning with our OMG American swiper, Basil Hamden, MSNBC producer, did not want other people to hear the conversation he was having with our investigative reporter, saying we shouldn't speak too loudly about the issue. What is he ashamed of?
We should
Hi. So you know
speak too
people
loudly
here?
about that.
Okay.
Little did he know who he was talking to. As always, if you're on the inside of the mainstream media, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, we know you like us. We know you're fans of us. You just can't say it publicly. Well, guess what? It's time to step up. It's time to stand up. It's time to be brave. If you're sick of the biased news coverage, if you are...
All right, so we're going to move on to the next one. Thought there was a little bit more. There's the shirts again. So here we go. This one is... Hold on. Actually, I wanted to cover a different one first, and we'll go back to that one. That one's important now. Where is it? Huh. It is not here at the very end. Huh. Alrighty, I guess I did not put it up here. That's whatever. We'll cover this one. So this is from Savannah Hernandez. This is first look at the furnished Maine apartments where migrants are getting up to 2 years and free utilities and rent. Maine alone is this county alone has received $6.1 million in funding from FEMA, the same program obviously that can't fund the hurricanes right now, and has spent $1 billion on housing for migrants as well.
Free. 2 years.
After 2 years, we have to pay the rent.
All right, y'all, this is Savannah Hernandez in Brunswick, Maine, reporting to you from...
When I was trying to film this yesterday and didn't realize it wasn't recording, or somehow I hit the record button on accident, this was the video that made me so angry that I almost broke something. Hopefully today, since I've seen it before, it's a little easier for me to get through.
The apartments where migrants are getting their rent paid for up to 2 years. Now, I wanted to give you guys a first inside look at these units. The migrants shared with us that they come furnished.
Like, look at this. A couch, massive couch with an ottoman, 2 ottomans it looks like. I can't tell if it's 2 or just 1. But nice kitchen chairs and table. You got decorations. You got all this art, and it's not even of the people there. These are like pictures of babies from other, like I don't even know why, babies from white families, it looks like. And some more art.
So they have a flat.
Some more plants, some decorations, a TV stand, a TV I checked. This is actually the same TV I used to have. This TV right here cost around $750.
Screen TV in there, couches, tables, and chairs.
That's a smart TV with all kinds of different stuff on it, Netflix, all that. And they got iPhones right here. So you can see that's an iPhone. That's not an Android. That's a credit card. They got more pictures of random babies.
So ask them as well. Hey,
more decorations. They got good, nice fridge, brand new fridge. They got fruit baskets nicer than half the crap in my house. They got brand new range. They got all of this plastic stuff for food and corn, and with a cornmeal or corn flour. It looks like coffee or some kind of a blender, maybe a coffee grinder. I don't know. Spoon, like, and spatula thing. All this cookware.
Hey, are you paying?
Is that a cup? They have a cup thing where you like press down and it cleans the cups even. Like, wow, I am not happy with this.
Everything is good. We don't pay anything.
Now I wanted to focus.
So they're paying for nothing, and they're paying for nothing. Everything is free. Groceries, rent, getting their license is free, even though we have to pay for it. Everything is free, and all of these states too. It's happening in Arizona, and it's probably happening in your state. When they get their license, there's an area that says, "Do you want to register to vote?" And so you can register to vote while you're getting your driver's license. And if these illegal immigrants say, "Yes, I want to register to vote," it's actually registering them in the system, at least in Arizona. And Arizona said they're not going to fix it until after the general election, this next election. And then they'll remove the people from the system. So for this election, 218,000 illegal immigrants in Arizona alone, in Maricopa County alone, where I live in Maricopa County, has 218,000 people voting illegally and they're going to take it and be okay for this time. And I covered this in a previous video. They're not removing the votes, or they're not removing the people from the system until next year. And just so you know, this county lost by 10,000 votes, 10,095 votes. That's it. 10,095. That's it. That's what we lost by in the general election. Since then, there have been found to be 265,000 votes that were improperly either they were not properly signature verified, or they were registered to either dead people or people who voted twice. That's been in a court verified. Just like we have almost the exact same thing that happened for 2022 with Carrie Lake and Katie Hobbs. Katie Hobbs actually ran the 2020 election, and which she's supposed to because she was Attorney General at the time. But she's not supposed to run the election in 2022 because she was running for governor, which means she can't run if she was AG, meaning she wasn't supposed to run that. She was supposed to give it over to a separate group of people so they could do it. Well, her people on her team came out and whistle blew and said that she was rigging that election and doing things improper, allowing dead people to vote, changing votes, messing up voting systems in Republican areas. That's why, like in my area, the machines went down for like half the day, and people were told to come back later around voting closing time, like on voting day. They said come back like an hour or so before closing and see if they're good. If they're not, then whatever. And it was like people came by and they were like, well, I can't vote today. And they're like, no, they're still down, and people were just screwed. So thousands upon thousands of people weren't able to vote because they screwed up Republican machines. And you're saying, oh, that's weird. How do you know it's that? Well, this only happened in Republican areas. So 40% of Republican areas had the machines go down for almost I think it was like 60% of the day. And it was crazy. The one at my place was down for 4 hours. Luckily, I stood outside along with other people telling people, hey, leave. Do not let them tell you to come back later. Leave and go to this location. And it's crazy,
on this area of Maine because there is a housing crisis going on currently for residents, and these buildings were initially created for Maine residents, but then it was decided that homeless migrants would be living here. Now, as an American, you can rent out one of these units, but a one-bedroom is going to run you about $1,800, and a two-bedroom is going to run you
$1,800 to $2,200 for a 1 to 2 bedroom and 1 bathroom. Only 700 to 900 square feet.
About $2,300. By the way,
in Arizona, back when Trump was president, and this was in 2018, the end of 2017, 2018, and part of 2019. This is almost all of 2019 and all of 2018. So that during that time, I had a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with bidets installed in the toilet, a massive backyard that was easily, double or more of the square footage of my house. My house was 1,895 square feet. So almost exactly the same price as their rent. And my utilities costed me almost nothing. My electricity, which covered air conditioning and all that, was only $40 a month during the hottest summer, during the hottest time of the year, during the summer, which normally it's, some people paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars. During Biden's presidency, my rent was $1,200. That's it, $1,200, just under $1,200. It was $1,195, and plus $40 during the hottest time of the year. The rest of the year, it was around $48 during that time, and then during the good time of the year, it was around $32, $37 sometimes. And I came back. I moved to Philly, left after not that long because it was horrible. Came back to Arizona. During Biden's presidency, I got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, small, little kind of, not a townhouse, but kind of like a townhouse. And had a small backyard with an orange tree in it. And not that nice. I had to buy my own washer and dryer and all that stuff and everything. Not too bad, not too nice. It was all tile floor, except for in the bedroom. So it wasn't too bad. But my utilities alone, just my electricity for my AC and my electricity, was around $180 a month during the regular part of the year. And during the summer, it went up to $250. It was insane. And that was just my electricity. My rent for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom with less than 1,200 square feet. It was like, I think, around 1,100 square feet or a little bit less. And I was paying $13.90 per month plus 200, just under 200 or just over 200 in electricity. So, and then my internet and all that stuff. And I had to buy my own washer and dryer. It was horrible. Like, this is like, and that was during the good part of Biden's administration. I mean, not good part, but the less expensive part of his administration. I ended up having to move back in with my parents for the first time since I was 16 years old.
Average housing price for a house over here in Brunswick is about $480,000. So there was obviously a lot of outrage when it was first discovered that migrants were going to be housed here for free on taxpayer dollar. Now I wanted to focus in on Brunswick as well because this is the same county that has received FEMA funding from that same program that spent almost $1 billion through the fiscal year of 2023 and 2024 on sheltering illegal immigrants throughout the United States of America. By the way, FEMA coming out and saying that they have run out of that funding.
We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
This is why I wanted to...
This is because you've spent all of our money on illegal immigrants instead of spending it on citizens and preparing for hurricane season like you are supposed to. Every president of the last 50 years or more has prepared for hurricane season every single year. Everyone. It's always a big thing. And yet you refused and didn't prepare to do it this year. And look what happened.
Come up this way. This is why I wanted to come to Brunswick, because I wanted to show you guys a comparison of how the federal government is treating American citizens versus illegal immigrants and migrants in this country. This is how migrants up in Maine, up in Brunswick are living. We also went to Bangor, we went to Lewiston, and there are African migrants who share with us that they really like it over here, that they've been treated very well. We spoke to Catholic Charities who told us that they are expecting...
I told you guys it's not Jewish people that are doing this. It's Catholic freaking charities, man, and they're everywhere. They're the ones helping with the drug smuggling. They're the ones helping with the gun smuggling. They're the ones helping with the children getting in here. They're the ones that are all doing this. In Arizona, they're in the middle of the desert, guarded by cartel members. I am not joking. These are corrupt NGO charities that have ties with the Catholic Church, obviously, and they are destroying this country.
More migrants. They're actually bringing more migrants up this way.
Yeah, so
if you don't believe me about this in the church, go check out what the Pope said recently when people were saying they don't want any more immigrants in Italy. He said it's racist and he condemns them.
Expecting up to 150 refugees starting yesterday until September 30th, which is the fiscal year. And then we also have walk-in clients, which will increase those numbers. Generally for refugees that we know are coming, we help them get set up with an apartment, but we're always looking for other landlords to work with as well for apartments.
So I wanted to give you guys an idea of...
This is disgusting. So right now, American-born people, American-born people, our employment has dropped to by 825,000 this year, just over this last year. Foreign-born workers and illegal immigrants has increased by 1.2 million. As you can see, America is not doing well. The only reason that we see jobs going up in some areas is because illegal immigrants are taking the jobs. So when you hear, oh, job requirement is up, Biden has done this for jobs. Illegal immigrants and foreign-born citizens are the ones taking the jobs. People who are really, when they mean foreign-born, that means just people on TPS and people who have visas and all that crap. So it's American people are not being helped here. We are being screwed. Here's the attempted shooter and assassin of Donald Trump. Who is this guy? You seen him before? Ever seen him? Maybe this will help. Oh, sorry. He's Kamala Harris's operative, and you can see him here with Kamala Harris. Here he is again with Kamala Harris on a video call. Here he is again with firefighter. So this guy knows this man, the attempted assassin of Trump, very well, obviously. Anybody else concerned about that? Just thought I'd throw that in here.
Caught. They sent.
This is by a man of memes.
An influencer proposal to a Trump supporter, and now we got it.
About a week ago, I received this email. What they were asking for is $1,500 for anti-Trump content on TikTok. So they basically sent me this kind of like creator brief with all the asks that they have and everything, and like do's and don'ts, like don't show any form of support for Donald Trump and his allies, gloat about Harris and her allies, attack Trump supporters for their intellectual or personal values. This is actually a campaign with Future Forward.
Whoops. Yeah. Disgusting. So disgusting. And they've done it to hundreds and hundreds of people. It's been on Twitter. It's been over on TikTok. This is what's happened. Housing, like as you can see, these people, it's not their houses that are all this wood is from. It's from mainly the forest and from upstream. People's housing, people's houses and boats and everything. They're washing downstream, and this is all of that from that. You'll see decks from miles up the road, both from a few blocks down the road. All are down the river. The river is even like empty now. Look at this. That's crazy. How many people are in that? It looks like a tornado just went through here. It looks like a dump, literally. And this is what it looked like previous to that.
Guys, it's fucking unreal.
That's people's stuff going downstream. It's floating down there.
Holy.
See? Crazy. That's what I'm talking about. This is by Christy Talman. Yeah. This is what it was like in the beginning. This is in Black Mountain, North Carolina. The water's moving fast too. Good luck surviving in that. Probably pretty cold too. So while Elon and Trump were trying to get FEMA to work with FEMA to get Starlink down there so that people could have cell service and internet, and FEMA started blocking them. So as you can see here, so they're regulating the air, quote unquote, regulating the airspace to the private choppers. We are writing in to deliver Starlink supplies that we are getting pushed back. The Trump team is getting pushed back as well. And seems like the FEMA then showed up and started blocking us. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, the largest concern here is FAA throttling flights for their choppers. Yeah, so they're getting screwed over by FEMA. They're not allowing them to use the airspace to deliver Starlink. It's just crazy. Yeah, Trump calls FEMA's claim they don't have enough money for the hurricane season a disgrace. They're doing a very bad job. They've given over $1 billion to illegal immigrants, just $1 billion in one state alone. They've given over $900 billion to illegal, or sorry, is it 600? Let me try to think of it. $650 billion to illegal immigrants. Yet we hear, oh, it's just $1 billion. And it was $1 billion in Maine alone. Like we just read that. Like we just went over that in the beginning with the Savannah Hernandez video. So just in that county alone, they've used $1 billion for illegal immigrants. It is a disgrace what's happening in this country. This is what I was talking about with the hurricane relief. I told you I'd try to get a good GoFundMe that I could find that was worth donating to. So go down to GoFundMe and just type in Hurricane Relief Fund and donate to this. It's, people are really helping out here. As you can see, a lot of people are donating 300, 100,000, 500. And so whatever you can do, even if it's just $10 or $5, go down there and donate what you can and give these guys, all your prayers and your love, and make sure you send it towards them. So we're on to the Israeli news. So Israel eliminated Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah. And then the next day they appointed this guy, Hassan Khalil Yassin. They eliminated him hours later. Then October 1st, this guy was appointed, and his name is Hashem Safadine, and he was eliminated. What was it? Yesterday, 2 days ago. So Israel ain't playing anymore. They asked for precision. They were giving him precision. This is what's happening in Israel. It's pretty awful. This is from Montana Tucker.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Israel was just attacked by the Islamic Republic
181 ballistic missiles hit Israel
of Iran, and it was the biggest ballistic missile attack on another country in history. Now let's backtrack a little. The Islamic Republic of Iran funds and helps many different terrorist groups, including Hamas in Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen, and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Just the other day, terrorists again came on foot and murdered 7 innocent people and injured 16 by shooting and stabbing them. For the past year, Israel has continuously been attacked by all of those groups. For 32 years, Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, ruled Lebanon with fear, using civilians as...
He also killed over 250 American people when he blew up an American embassy.
Human shields while launching missiles at Israel. Their missiles, their terror have no boundaries. They fire 10,000 rockets at Israel's north, killing 49, including 12 innocent Druze children. But Hezbollah's terror does not stop with Israel. Between 2010 and 2012 began the Arab Spring that shook up the Middle East, with Nasrallah giving hand to the rebellion in Tunisia, Egypt, and Bahrain. As a result of the rebellion in Syria, the country was left with over 500,000 dead, 7.6 million displaced, and 5.5 million refugees. But that reign is ending. Israel took out Nasrallah and his top commanders in a decisive strike. Israel is calling for all civilians to evacuate because Hezbollah has used them as human shields for decades. But now there is a chance for a new beginning.
Yeah, because the people did flee, and they don't care that, Hezbollah is trying to stop them. They are fleeing and they're getting out of there so Israel can do its thing, and they want them to. They're celebrating in the streets when Nasrallah died.
A chance to say no more.
By the way, we covered that in the previous last Friday. We covered that where they were celebrating in the streets for the death of Nasrallah.
Terror, no more hostages, no more rockets. We stand at a crossroads. One path leads to more terror, more destruction, more innocent lives shattered. The other, a future where families can live without fear, where hostages come home, and where freedom finally triumphs over hate. So, what kind of world do you want to live in? The choice is ours, and it starts right now.
I can't wait till the Iranian people take back Iran. The majority of the country hates their regime. So this is what people were doing when Israel was being attacked by terror and by ballistic missiles. By the way, the ballistic missiles didn't kill a single, they injured a whole bunch of people, but they didn't kill a single Israeli citizen, as far as I know. But they did kill they killed 6 Iranian citizens. Their ballistic missile attack killed their own people. And they also killed 1 Arab citizen in Palestine. So obviously this isn't about protecting Palestine or protecting Gaza or it's about killing Jews and destroying Israel, which is why the motto of the Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Iran, which are all proxies, their motto is death to America, death to Israel, death to Jews. This is posted by Vivid. Look at all these kids. See, Hamas's #1 supporter is kids. That's why you'll see young boys stabbing Israeli soldiers and citizens and throwing rocks at cars and doing all kinds of stuff and shooting people and taking bombs into buildings. That's because they are already members of Hamas and the Palestinian Palestinian Islamic Jihad by the time they're 12, 13, 14 years old. And if you think it's bad because you see a video of a kid who just stabbed 4 soldiers get shot in the back when he's running away, I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you. He became a man the moment he picked up that knife. He is no longer a child the moment he picks up a gun or a knife. If this was him, and you say, oh, how can you say that? Kids use guns. Yes, they use guns in supervision of adults in innocent ways, meaning shooting targets at, or competitive shooting, not taking it and using it against another human being. The moment you pick up a weapon and you use it against another human being, you are no longer a child. See, all these boys, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, they're the number one, like, group that, or the number one, like, I guess you could say, what's the word? I'm blanking on the word. Sorry, guys. I've had a lot going on today. But demographic. They're the number one demographic that Hamas recruits. Disgusting to see this, though. I can't look at that for very long because of YouTube. But that was one of the attacks that happened in a rail car, and it was really bad. So more celebrations, more kids. See, kid, another kid, a couple kids right there. Yeah, you can see these people aren't good people. These are the terrorists that did that stuff. And here's, they had just gotten off the rail car right there. And here's why almost everything you see coming from Palestine, where it's videos of soldiers hurting people and, you know, kids being shot, it's all fake. We've covered it 100 times. I've shown you dozens upon dozens of videos proving that 90% of the crap they put out is fake. Even the mainstream media back in the day would openly do stories on Pallywood and how, you know, persuasive it was and how dangerous it is and how much they produce it, how much fake stuff they produce and why are they trying to do it. And it's obvious. I mean, back then that they're asking the question, why are they doing this? And it's obvious because they want to push a narrative that Israel is evil and constantly trying to hurt them, when really they're the ones hurting themselves by, you know, shooting blanks or even live ammunition at each other dressed up as Israeli soldiers, and then making videos now that today with makeup and all kinds of stuff and professional cameras. Like this camera, I have a version of that camera. If it's a Canon, yeah, it looks like a Canon, because that's Canon right there, I think. I have also that exact same tool. That is a gimbal. I have a gimbal, like in this room. It's over against the wall over there, and I have it. It costs like $600, and the camera costs like $3,000. So they're not using cheap stuff. These two tripods, one of them probably costs around $60, $50. The other one is probably about $100. The backpack, if it's a camera backpack, that alone is about $150. The other bag, I don't know what it is in it, but it's probably, you know, around that too. Let's turn that down. I don't know if that's copyright anyways. So as you can see, fake yarmulkes, fake Israeli. See, these are just dress pants that are olive colored. They have no, like, they're not cargo army pants. They're wearing tennis shoes. It looks like some type of, I don't know, cheap tennis shoe. You got, this guy's got, you know, some fake Adidas on. Obviously, he's not a fake soldier though. The other guy had white tennis shoes on. You got fake yarmulkes, just cut pieces of cloth. That's it. White cloth cut and then pinned to their head. Even, it's not even in the right place. It should be back here. Like, and it's all the way on the front of their head. Those guns don't even look that real. They look like they're plastic. And fake blood, really bad fake blood this time. Usually it's a lot better looking. Right there. And it makes no sense, the blood spatter. If you know what blood spatter is, then I would tell people who are watching these videos to learn about blood spatter, because if you actually knew what blood spatter is and how it works and the distribution of blood when it leaves the human body after an injury, you can tell if something is fake almost instantly. Like Dexter from, that's his job in the show Dexter. So why would two people be pointing a gun at an already supposedly dead child? Makes no sense. Also, the flags on their should be on the arm on a piece of Velcro, and their name should be right there. And these shirts shouldn't be so baggy, and they should be tucked in. This guy doesn't even have his tucked in. They wouldn't be wearing pressed pleated dress pants. And this guy's wearing what, fake Adidas. This guy's got some cheap, I don't know, fake Jordan, like the Shaq shoes or whatever they're called. You have an Israeli flag printed out on a piece of cloth in white and blue, and not in the normal colors of green and dark green and light green, and then Velcroed onto the shoulder. It makes no sense. All fake bullshit. Yeah, so that camera looks to be a Canon 80D, so it's a little bit cheaper than mine, but it's still like $1,800. Yeah, so that's going to be it for today, guys. Alrighty. Don't forget to go check out my website. You know, go to get you some shirts, Conservative Confusion, or streamlabs.com/conservative confusion/merch. Link is right there. And it will also be in the description. Get your American Horror Story Kamala Harris one. Get your voting for the felon. Whatever you guys want. If you guys want something custom, please let me know. Comment it down in the comments or email me, which is also in the description, my email. Let me know what you want. And if it's possible, I will let you know and do it. And it'll be up as soon as possible after that. I will email you when it's ready and you can go pick it up. Also, if you want a specific Don't Tread on Me one, the Tread Carefully, Better Watch Your Step, Tread Carefully shirts, let me know. I have the Texas flag, the Mexican flag, the Arizona flag. I'm going to be uploading the Georgia flag here in a moment. And yeah, so just let me know what you guys want, and I will get that out as soon as possible. Alrighty, guys. Don't forget to go down there, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and do not forget to share this video if you like it, and do not forget to comment. Also, don't forget to go check out my Discord server, and don't forget to go check out that merch store like I was saying. Alrighty, guys. You guys have a good Shabbat. Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Have a good one.